Hi everyone, my name is Shirin and welcome to Whispering Palette. Tonight I'm here to do a very beautiful watercolor painting of some magical flowers with my daughter. My daughter is here to do another painting. She will be painting on this paper and I'm painting on this paper. So the flower we are doing tonight is just a loose watercolor style and it's very enjoyable. To be honest, you don't need any experience for doing that and it's beginner friendly and everyone can do this. So just grab your watercolor paper and your watercolor and start painting with us. Um, all right, the watercolor that we are using tonight is a very good brand and it has very vibrant color, you will see. And the brand is called, it has, sometimes it's called KUHE NUR and the other name is Mikador. But this one I'm using here is KUHE NUR watercolor and it's, yeah, this is the door and these are the watercolor. You can find it in this is, you can find it in any art supply shop. Okay, let's get started. So what we first do, okay, what we can do is just spraying some water on our paper, or maybe we can spray water on paints first. نه نه بلندش نکن، فیلتر میشه، کمش کن، چیز میشه، بلاک میشه از یوتیوب. حتی یه آهنگ کوچولو هم بیاد بلاک میشه، کاملا قطعش کن. Okay, so what I do first, we spray our paper with green color. Okay?
Which one did you use?
Doesn't matter, this one. Okay. And we maybe use a hair dryer. You know, watercolor is just doing layer by layer and you have to build up the layers on top of each other. And when you want to do the layers, so you have to wait for one layer to get dry. So you need to use doesn't matter. Okay. And now I'm using blue. So just now using some water and spraying some more water. I'm building a background. And yeah, do that. My daughter is painting along with me as well. We are just making a random background. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be and the reason we are doing a background is that because we just need to later when we do our flower, we need two flowers to pop up. So now I'm using some purple and maybe using some pink. And as I said, in watercolor, because we are doing layer by layer, so we use hair dryer to actually, maybe I use this bigger brush. It's easier to blend the colors. And this is going to be my background. So as you see, I'm not taping my paper. I didn't tape my paper and I just I know paper sometimes gets buckled, but yeah, I just risked it and it doesn't matter. Let's see what happens. All right, so this is my background and my daughter is doing as well, so I suggest you use this brush better and use more water. Okay, background should be very smooth. We don't want to see hard edges. Okay, use this one and just kill the hard edges. We only need the soft edges. Okay. I'm going to do some paint, actually doing some pink flower. So what now I'm doing, in the wetness of the paper, I just put some, what do we say? I mean, some stains, some pink stains, because I'm just trying to present that I have some flower in the background, fading in the background, because paper is wet, they will fade actually. Eventually they will fade, and this is part of making, even I can spray. This is like a flower field, okay? And I'm now doing some greens, and because my paper is wet, I try to take some thick paint, like and these are my leaves. And as I said, because this is wet in wet technique, they will eventually fade, but when they dry, it just gives me a very beautiful background at the end. All right, this is wet in wet technique, and the reason in wet technique you can see these leaves, the reason is that I'm taking a very thick paint with less water, and when you use less water you have more control. If I put this in here in a shape of leaf, it remains, but if I take lots of water with my brush, see what happens. If I put this here, it will spread and it doesn't have a good shape. But if I get rid of the extra water and just take thick color, it remains in its place and gives me a very beautiful leaf. Look at it, it's very beautiful. All right, now I'm going to dry my paper. When I dry the paper, then my background is ready and we go for the next step, which is doing the foreground. And my foreground is beautiful pink flowers. I mute this because I don't want you hear the hair dryer sound, so I just mute my video. Okay, now our paper is dry. Now we try, this is our background, and I think our background is a bit dark, so I was expecting to get a lighter background, but now that I have a dark background, I try to do pink flower, but if it didn't show well, then I use white color. So let's try it. And next time I make sure that my background is a bit lighter. This, yeah, I just, because these color are very strong and they give me very actually dark background. Okay, now what I do, I, I try to use the lighter area of my background, for example here, and I put some points. These are going to be my petals. Now I wash my brush and I just drag the water like the shape of a flower. And imagine if my background was lighter, I would get a better result. Unfortunately, my background it's too it's very like has a strong color. It's dark, and this flower doesn't show very well, but I do my best. Okay. Now I add some more color to the petals and make them stronger. Okay, let's do another one here, which is light. In this lighter area, I put some colors, and then I drag the colors and make some petals. This is a loose watercolor style. And now adding some strong thick paint to the center. All right. For the center, I'm using the black color. And it should be thick color. Actually, I'm doing another one here. This is from side view. Okay. Okay. For the side view, first I start from the center of the flower, then I put my petals and just trying to drag them. So because these flowers are in shadow, they are a bit darker. So just stains and then dragging. Okay, so now fixing the shape of the petals. Okay, now I'm going to get some thick, very thick and dark, very thick and dark green. Wow, that's beautiful. I love this color. And these are my stems. For doing the stems, try to move your hand by shoulder to get a very thin line. If you lie down the brush on the paper, you will get a very thick line. So it's better to use your shoulder, and it's better to stand up. When you stand up and you do the painting, you have more control, more confidence, and you get a better result. So now I'm just doing some leaves. Okay, you can do the center black, yes. And then I'm adding some random leaves, and I'm just upset a bit because my background was dark. Imagine if I had a lighter background, the result was amazing. But now it's just a bit hard to differentiate between the foreground and background, but it doesn't matter. We are just learning, practicing. This is the journey, and the magic now is coming. The next step is in sprinkling some white gouache on top of watercolor. And the reason I'm using gouache is that gouache has a very good coverage. Watercolor white color doesn't have a good coverage, so I'm using gouache. And the gouache I'm using tonight, actually I will list all my material in the description, and when I save my live video, you can refer it and see the materials. But the watercolor brand was KUHE NUR. It has a very strong, vibrant color. You know, watercolor sometimes, some watercolors doesn't have a good, quality, and they don't have some good colors. And if you want to have a very good watercolor with a strong color, you have to pay lots of money. I mean, professional watercolors are expensive, but this one is very affordable and still very good colors. So this is the white paint. Oh, sorry, this is acrylic actually. Winsor Newton acrylic, white color, very good quality one. And I just put some here, and I'm going to, when this layer is dry, I'm going to splash some white on top of that. Okay, I think my painting is good now. I'm just, maybe I just add some more black to the center to give it some strands. And what I'm doing, I lift some color here just a little bit to create some highlights. I wash my brush, I dry it and lift some color, and you can see this beautiful purple comes out. It's always good to have some dark and light color in your painting, because watercolor, not just watercolor, every medium and every painting needs light and shadow. So when you have light and shadow in your painting gets the dimension. It's not flat, it's not boring anymore, and it's better. Okay, so now I'm just muting my video because I want to use hair dryer, and hair dryer sound, I don't want you to hear it, so I go mute now. Okay, now I'm just spraying some water on this white and just trying to get rid of those blue color in my paint. Yeah, just my white is a bit dirty. I'm just trying to clean the color around it. And okay, now I'm mixing water with acrylic white color, and then I get a very thick white paint, actually very thick. We need a thick color, because if your white is not thick, it doesn't show well. So what I can do with these whites, first of all, I can do some dots, like very small dots. Oh, this is big, maybe too much paint on the brush. Or instead of doing that, I just can simply splash, and look what happens. This is magical. What I also can do is I can just add some white color, and if I see my painting is too dark, just adding some whites. And white always gives your painting life. It just gets some interest. Yeah. You can watch what happened. So as I said, if my background was lighter, the result was more beautiful. And this is the painting that my daughter did. This is very beautiful. Yeah, very beautiful and enjoyable. But don't go anywhere, stay with us. Tonight we are going to do more painting, and for the next one I'm going to do a lighter background, then you will see the difference. Yeah, and okay, let's go to the next one. I hope you liked this demonstration. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and we will have more interesting videos in future. This is the paper I'm using today, Montmartre watercolor pad. This is not professional grade, this is a student grade, very affordable, but still I'm happy with the result. It's very good. I will list all the material in the description, and you can refer to the description later. All right, this time I'm going to do a very light color background, and I'm not going to risk it, and maybe I use another brand, because this brand is very vibrant and strong, so I can't get a light background with these colors, so I'm using another watercolor. Okay, for my background this time, I'm using this watercolor, which is, the brand is called, I don't know how to read this, but I think it's like KUHE. That's a Japanese brand watercolor. I'm using this one for the background. So I know that with this one I can get a lighter background. So first I spray water to activate the paints. And let's do a very light background first. Okay, so as I said, I'm using 1/2 inch dagger brush, the only brush I'm using. And this brush is very good actually, because I can do very beautiful leaves with this edge. I can do the lines by using this tip, and it's kind of, you know, doing everything for me. So I'm just using one brush tonight. So I'm getting this very blue color here, a light blue here, so like for a sky. Okay, very, very light color. And then I get some of this mixture of white and purple. Wow, this is giving me very light background. And maybe using some lemon yellow. And you can use whatever color you like. It's just, you just enjoy. Don't worry about the result, because whatever the result is, I'm sure it will be very enjoyable and beautiful. Okay, now that I have some beautiful colors here, I'm going to use this big brush. I could use just that brush, but it's just flat brush, helping me making my background quicker because it's big. And I can see this background is a bit pale. I'm adding more color to it now because I don't want that pale. Okay, you can spray some water. Okay, let's add just a little bit of red. Sorry, greens. Adding some greens. Not too much. As I said, I want a light background. Just a little bit of pink, purple. And because my paper wet, these paints will spread by themselves. I don't need to use brush. Try to stay light. Just a little bit. Even I can randomly just, maybe I use more green to the bottom. Okay, I think that's enough because I want to get a very, very dark, light background. Don't want to have just a little bit of distant flower, some flowers in the distant, and that's it. Okay, I'm going to dry this. So using hair dryer, I mute my video. Okay, now we are going to do some pink and red actually flowers using this watercolor. All right. Maybe this color first, just a bit of red color. Okay, now for doing this flower, I use another technique, very beautiful one. So I splash some red color here, and then I will make some petals, random petal out of these shapes. Just look. And also I'm using this pink color as well. Okay, I'm splashing some pinks, more pinks. Oh, mute بودم. Sorry, I was mute. So I'm using hair dryer now. چرا on mute نکردم؟ Okay, now I'm doing another layer on top of this. So what happens is that this layer is completely dry. Now we are going to do another layer, okay? And that another layer would be again with a splashing. Look, a splash on this, a splash here, a splash here, a splash, a splashing on my existing flower, and then adding more colors. Okay, now I'm just, again, I add another set of petals on top of this, you see, but I don't go exactly over them. I just go between them or just a little bit out with different borders, you know what I mean. For example, this petal is here, I'm doing another petal here between them, not in the same exact location. And this is called glazing, means you are making flowers on top of previous layer, and this is like glazing technique. Okay, okay, I think it's good. I just strengthen the red of the petals, and what I do, I grab some thick color and I just add some points to the centers. Okay, just adding some more redness, and then to this one as well. And I drag with clean water, I just drag them. Later I will add the center, and for the center I was thinking this time using a very dark brown. And before doing the center, I make sure the petals are dry. You know the reason? Because the reason is that if your petals are not dry, then the brown color will bleed into your petals, and it just get your, your painting just gets messy. Brown color goes everywhere. So make sure the the petals are dry before adding the brown color. Wow, that's beautiful. I love that. Okay, so it can be actually, which color is this? Very beautiful. Blue? This one? Okay, we can use brown or black. Okay, so I'm going to dry this again. I think that's enough. Now I'm using maybe just, which one is brown color? I don't think I have a good brown, so maybe I use, trying to see which one is brown because I can't see the colors. Oh, this is blue. Maybe I use the black color this time. Okay, now doing the centers. And center here as well. Now with the tip of the brush I try to do the stems. Okay, so now I get some green color and doing some leaves. That's very beautiful, I love it. Because it's just very loose style watercolor. My daughter is doing great job. Just adding some greens. It's very enjoyable. It's like a therapy. Watercolor painting is amazing because you can do lots of creativity. It doesn't have any rule. Just try to do and enjoy. I also spray some water. As I said, water always gives some life to your painting. Look at these beautiful textures we can get with water. Very, very beautiful. All right, so now maybe I do some spray here as well. Some people don't like spraying water, but I like it very much. And I just let color bleed and spread everywhere. Okay, now what happens is that we can dry this again and then we splash some white. Okay, now I'm splashing some white color. So mixing some white color with water. And as I said, the white color is the acrylic. The reason I'm using acrylic is that acrylic has a good coverage. So let's see what happens. And this is the amazing result that I was talking about. Loose watercolor style. You can get these beautiful textures and these amazing layers, glazings. And this is my daughter painting, which is abstract watercolor flower. Very, very enjoyable. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, if you enjoyed, like my video and subscribe to our channel. We are having more videos in future in this week and yeah, every Saturday night. So I hope you enjoyed the video and thank you very much for watching. Have a good Sunday night and see you in the next live demonstration. Thank you very much and see you next time.